So first time on a bagger and an Indian. Cheating on my Harley Davidson Sport Glide with an Indian Roadmaster? Anyways, let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, like, comment, subscribe, all that crap. If not, no worries, I'm all good. Anyways, so first off, I want to say, apologize actually for doing a voiceover on this video, because right after the first couple of clips, my wife actually asked me to turn the radio on. And for some strange reason, when I try to upload this video, YouTube gives me a demonetization warning all the time. Not sure how they demonetize a channel that's not even monetized, but hey, it's their platform. I'll abide by their rules, and from what I understand, you only get 3 strikes, so I'm going to save my strikes for something cooler than 80s pop music that my my wife was probably having me play. So anyways, we actually 2 weeks ago, we actually went down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to visit my dad while he's staying down there for a few months. And one of the days, my wife and I, we actually rented a motorcycle, which is the Indian Roadmaster. And we did a quick trip down to Charkeston, South Carolina. And I thought I would just come on here and kind of give you my thoughts and impressions on the Indian Roadmaster and Indian in general. Now, with I'm not going to compare it to my 2018 Harley Davidson Sport Glide, because the only 2 things that the bikes really have in common is the fact they were both 2018s. So the top things we liked about the bike were pretty similar actually, and it all revolves around the comfort and the features of the motorcycle. Now, the thing we liked about it was how comfortable it was. Now, I'm only comparing it to my Softail, which I'm sure Harley Davidson's touring models, their baggers, are just as comfortable as what this is, but that was something that shocked me of how comfortable it is. When you're riding there, you're sitting, and I guess that's why they call them road sofas. You're sitting on the couch, like, it's fantastic. My wife never had a sore butt, she never had sore arms, she just sat back there, and it was just fantastic for her. Now, with the features, I mean, this thing was loaded. So it came with their ride command, which has the GPS, it has the tire monitoring system, it had, you know, heated grips, it had the button control to raise and lower the windscreen on there. Really, the features are endless that you would need on a motorcycle. Bluetooth, like, it was just fantastic. So the features, the comfort of the bike was just second to none. Or I guess I shouldn't say that, because like I said, I haven't been on another bagger, but going from a Softail up to that, the comfort of the motorcycle was just fantastic. We really enjoyed it. But it's actually kind of funny, because the one thing we both complained about, and what I even asked my wife, I'm like, oh, what is it that you liked about the bike, and what is it what you don't like about it? And all the things she liked about it, like I said, it was the how comfortable it was. Storage was another thing. We actually had the trunk on it, and we were able to put both of our helmets in there and lock it with a button. Like, that's just fantastic, where you can go for a ride and not have to bring your helmet in when you get to wherever you're going. That's a good feature. However, now the one thing we both complained about, and for different reasons, was actually the motor. My wife found that it was had a lot of vibrations, and she thought it was very clunky whenever it was shifted. Now, I fully admit it could be the way I was shifting the bike, but she's never complained about that, or never noticed that shifting on my Harley Davidson, which that is a loud clunker. When you switch a gear on a Harley, it gives you a good clunk. But she said when you're riding, there was like a vibration there that she could feel throughout the whole ride, even when we were up to speed. Me personally, I didn't notice that. However, what I didn't like about the motor was, to me, it was underpowered, which I wouldn't say underpowered. I guess I was just expecting more. This one here had the 111 Thunderstroke on it. and I found my 107 Harley Davidson had more power of it. Now, granted, to be fair, this 111 was bone stock. They didn't do anything to it. However, and then my 107 actually has a stage 1 attune, the pipes on it with the heavy breather. So that would add some horsepower and torque to it. But I thought the 111, like I thought it would have been pretty comparable. Now the weight of the bike might have something to do with that as well. But I found that you get on it and maybe it's just the power delivery. Being a bagger, you don't want it to be like that. But I found anytime I tried to, give it the beans, it really didn't go anywhere. It was smooth. It was fine. And then the other thing, which I know it's an air-cooled motor, whatever, but and actually the only reason why I'm mentioning it is because the guy I rented it from, he mentioned it, and actually he said they installed a cover which was a flap over right over the saddle where the seat is, to cover up some of the heads because of how hot it is. He says that they had a lot of people complaining how hot it is, and he's like, when it's 100 degrees out, of course it's going to be hot. Well, I was in 68 degree weather where it wasn't that hot. I mean, it's warm for us, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't hot, but my leg was burning. We were in stop and go traffic, so it was stopped there. So it would be heating up because of that. But the heat coming off of this motor was way hotter than my 107 as well. Again, it could be because my 107, like I said, it has a tune on it, has the heavy breather, so maybe the engine runs cooler now, and maybe at stock it was just as hot. And maybe it's where I'm sitting, because this has a pretty low seat height, and maybe I'm just closer to the motor, but my leg was burning. There was a lot of times where I kept flaring my leg out just to get the wind in it. And then it makes it harder too when you're stopped on the side, because it was my right side. The left side I didn't have really an issue at all. It was always on my right side. So when you're stopped at a stoplight, you have your foot on the rear brake and your left leg down. And it was hard to get air. Like, I would put the front brakes on and just to give my leg a breather and put both feet down, which again is not safe and you shouldn't do that, but I felt like I had to do it because my leg was burning so much. But anyways, I just thought I'd come on and give my 2 cents of what I thought about cheating on my Harley Davidson with the Indian. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean I would never get an Indian, because I definitely think I would. However, I have been seeing a lot of issues with people with their new Indians online, but I'll save that for another video. But anyways, until next time, later.